Everyone, it's Nick with Us versus Herd. If it's your first time here, hit the subscribe button. If you want to get notifications for when we go live, tap the bell. Definitely appreciate that you're here. Thanks for those that are waiting. Thanks for those that will be joining in just now. If you're not yet a member of our free options trading group, the link is below along with the Discord channel. So if you're here right now, say what up, what up. We got in here right now, we have Carmine, Garrett, Eric, James, Linda, Richard, thank you so much for the $5, man. I really appreciate you. And for real, you're getting paid. Richard definitely gets paid. Billy, what's going on? Jeff, what's up, Jeff? We got crazy going on, crazy stuff going on here. Ray Lee, watching AMD horror movie after hours. Woo. T5, what's going on? Matthew, nice to see you in here. Dovey, Baron, Elvis. Man, how is the snow? It's terrible. But like, what's worse than the snow is the cold. And right now we're gonna have like, we're in this what they call, from what I understand, it's called the polar vortex, and it's gonna be colder than Antarctica and Siberia in Chicago tomorrow, like -50. -6, like we're not supposed to. I don't know what I did to who, but what did I do to deserve this? Like what did I do? How can I apologize? I mean, if I did something wrong to somebody and you guys sent me the polar vortex, I'm sorry. Seriously, I don't know. I don't want it. Keep it with the penguins and the polar bears. People should not be living like that. It's not Canada or anything. Sheesh. What's up? If you made money today, comment got paid. If you lost money today, comment learned a lesson. extra cold cash, Carmine. Tell me you are from New York. Baron, AMD, yeah, we're watching. So we got Apple and we have AMD earnings right now. Got paid. Everyone's getting paid. What happened to Apple? Let's. You guys want to cover before we get into the trades? You guys want to cover Apple? You want to cover AMD first? That's the question. That's the question. Let's see here. Apple. All right. You know, the thing about CNBC, I mean, they don't pick like the most flattering pictures of, like, whenever you see something on CNBC, it's a picture of like a CEO or like Trump or whoever. They always pick like the least flattering pictures. Like, I mean, out of all the photos these guys take, I mean, they could definitely find something better here. Yeah, Richard, we're stocked up. I had my Costco run last weekend. We got stocked up to survive Siberia here. AMD's consolidating. Anyways, okay, so Apple, they reported 418 per share. Expected is 417. Let's see, what were their numbers coming in? I'm just reviewing this right now with you guys. These just came out 4 minutes right when we started the stream. So let's see here. EPS 417. Okay. Apple's reporting numbers for its December quarter under a new structure. So if you guys remember, last quarter they said they weren't going to announce the sales numbers for iPhone and stuff like that. Offering gross margin figures for services and product segments and withholding unit sales. So yeah, withholding unit sales numbers for its most popular products like the iPhone. The new structure announced in November has dented the stock and left some analysts grasping for growth metrics. Okay. The company is expected to post strong numbers. Wall Street expects revenue in the division to top 10 billion, marking a 27% increase year over year. Did they give guidance? They're probably not. They didn't give any guidance here. They're gonna have the conference call. I'm not seeing. Cook warning earlier this week earlier this month, weaker iPhone sales, but where is the guidance? So developing story. So we're gonna have to check back. We're gonna have to check back. We're gonna have to check back later because I don't see where guidance is. We need guidance. Where's guidance? I'm a little fired up today. If you guys couldn't tell. we need guidance. So right now, yeah, Apple is swinging. I wouldn't say it's up big or anything. I mean, it's up. Apple, where are you? I mean, right now it's at what, 159. I mean, it was high. It was higher in December, so I mean, still not doing great. We'll see what happens. We're gonna have a long night ahead of us. I don't have any position. I don't have any position in Apple right now. Let's look up AMD earnings. AMD earnings. I don't see what they did. CNBC doesn't care. CNBC doesn't care about AMD. They don't care. Let's see here. AMD. AMD, they, I don't think that's, I mean, that looks right. So AMD saying on Thinkorswim here, estimated 9 cents a share. They came in at 8 cents a share, so they missed. But I guess we had to figure out AMD micro devices in line misses on revenue. So we'll have to see. We need to get some, what we need to do is we need to get some guidance for this. I went and bought puts on Apple. Yeah, I was saying this in Discord. I said it a couple times. Like, I said this a couple times. Man, the dryness makes my face itchy, and the dryness in the air. Need to put some lotion on. But sometimes trades get crowded. Like, if everyone thinks Apple's gonna go down, I mean, it may go down, but if you guys don't know what crowded trades are, you know, I mean, yes, there's for sure things, but at the end of the day, like, the stock's gonna do what it wants to do. And sure, this could easily come back. We could easily come down. Like, Apple could come down and open at 145 tomorrow. I mean, this is very, very early. We need to go through the conference call. Like I said, I didn't see any guidance. SPY up tomorrow due to these earnings. Most likely, if Apple's up a large amount, I mean, it's gonna move the market for sure. I mean, Apple is humongous. Elixir, Tilray, Kron, Canopy, wheat stocks were paying out. I see. Today I lost a little bit of money due to I'm down 135, and all of that is due to PCG. I got it at Apple. I had Apple, a position to play pre-earnings Apple. I'm sorry, not Apple, Tesla. I got it at Tesla. I've been holding it for like a week. Got out with like a $5 loss. Just recoup the cost. They have Tesla's earnings tomorrow. I didn't want to hold. Got back to break even and I exited. Conference call. But the interesting conference call is at 2:30 or something. Yeah, so we need guidance on AMD and Apple. We'll check back in on them in the next few minutes here. We'll let that play out. Let's talk about the trades today. So PCG, if you guys didn't know, they're filing for bankruptcy, and the interesting thing is they gapped down pre-market down to like 9. And then came back from 9, as you can see, almost like 14. It did hit over 14. The Apple conference call beginning at 2 p.m. Pacific. So that is 4 p.m. So in 20 minutes. It's 20 minutes from now. So I'm Central. It's 4 p.m. So like 20 minutes. Yeah, Josh, Tesla's gonna shoot up tomorrow. Yeah, Tesla's gonna tomorrow. Tesla's going to announce something like amazing. It's gonna go like $500 a share, and we could have made stacks. Instead, we're gonna be poor, lose $5 on it. Oh man, I mean you gotta love the market though. I mean that's just the way it goes sometimes. I mean sometimes you nail it, sometimes you miss it by a very slim margin. And sometimes you just miss completely. I mean, but that's just how it goes. Yeah, they care. Yeah, I was telling somebody like if who's that? I don't know if Mike Matthews, are you here? I was telling him we were talking about Apple this morning, and he was asking me like what I thought if it was going to go up or down. I'm like, well, unless most likely down, just because obviously they haven't been doing very well. Unless they announce like they cure diabetes from the Apple Watch, but that's probably not going to happen due to them. They mostly announce those kind of things during product announcements, never during earnings. They stick to the numbers. Apple iPhone revenue 52 billion down from 61 billion. Yeah, I mean right now it's too early to call it. I mean right now, obviously, we got for Apple we have all night and all morning. There's a lot of things that can open, and people could just like. Tim Cook gets on that conference call, or he could get on the conference call and this opens at like 170 tomorrow. I mean, you just don't know. You just don't know, and that's why earnings are a gamble. But let's go through while we're letting this simmer, while we're letting AMD and Apple simmer. Let's go through the trades. I had a position on PCG. I had the 11 puts, and as you guys can see, we did gap down pre-market. It did hit like $9 only to recover. And by market open, what was it trading at market open here? It was trading at... So it opened at like $12.20, $12.30. So it came back from $9 up to $12.30. So obviously, that got axed. And if you guys noticed, even though it was going up, if you swing traded this from yesterday... I mean, they axed these calls. Actually, at one point in time today, all these calls are red. All these puts are red. It was amazing. Let's look at these 14s here. Kind of interesting. Let's look at these 14 calls. So I mean, yeah, I mean, the 14 calls opened at like 32 cents, but they're only like they closed at like 70 cents. I mean, that's not. It's kind of crazy. Yesterday closed at like 50 something. So I mean that's kind of crazy to think that it moved. The stock moved. How much it moved? 16%, and these calls are only worth 25% more. I mean that's not too good. Not great at all. So that leads you to believe. So I actually had the 11 puts. I'll bring up some orders here on Tastyworks. Have the same orders on Thinkorswim, but just kind of it's easier to see on Tastyworks. At least that's what what people tell me. If you're looking here, oh Manny, thank you for the $5. I saw that. I was in the zone. Manny, thank you for the $5. Really, I didn't miss you. Didn't want to ignore you. Yeah, I learned a lesson with PCG. So this morning, because I probably played a little bit too aggressive on PCG, just because I thought that. The move up was overdone, and apparently, they had other things in store for today. So I averaged down. I bought the 9 puts for February 15th, just to kind of give it some time, and then I averaged down my 11 puts for this week. In case they don't work out, I got some on the back burner. But this one, at this point, this is all the money that I want to invest in this trade. I mean, I've traded stocks like this very successfully in the past. Stocks like SUNE and stuff like that. I don't know if you guys traded it all. Jack, what's up? I don't know if you guys traded it at all, SUNE or any of those stocks that kind of were going out of business. But this is very similar to this. That's why I kind of got a little bit of aggressive with it, because I've been down this road before. However, it just didn't, kind of balanced out here. So we'll see what happens. Right now, PCG needs some news to move up or down. Otherwise, it could just continue short squeezing. If you're looking at PCG here, on the 1 year, really really we're back here at this top. You know, last time it was up like the 14s here, came back down to like 1050. That was just a day ago. So, you know, this stock has been moving, as you guys can see. It went from 49 all the way down to 17 in just a few days, and then kind of recovered. And then, you know, what's kind of weird is they said that they're going to declare, they were potentially going to declare bankruptcy, and they went down to 5, and then they declared bankruptcy, and now we're at 14. So I don't know. You know, that's why I kind of like with earnings. If you think like the report's going to be good, let's say the report is good and the stock goes down, you're like, why did the stock go down if it went good? You know, if the report's good, stuff like that. Like stuff like that happens all the time. Stuff like this happens all the time. So, you know, not to say I'm not surprised, but when everybody, like I said, if everybody's in on the same trade, like everybody's short on PCG, which I mean, there's really only one way you could really trade it, I think. I mean, if everybody's short on the same trade, if everyone's on one side, I mean, it gets kind of risky. So I definitely wouldn't recommend PCG if you're a new trader, because it gets risky. Jack, what's up? Eric, how you doing? Thoughts on IBM? Yeah, we'll cover that. And then I sold Tesla. I took a $5 loss on Tesla. I had here's my orders here. I had 2 of the 375 calls. I had 1 of the 385 calls. Really, it's the one thing that I will say about Tesla that has been very, very interesting in holding this. So when did I put these positions on? Let's see here. So that way you can kind of see. Okay, so I initially put on the first 375 call on January 18th, and we're currently at so we're going on like a week and a half on this thing. So I initially put a position on January 18th, then I averaged down on January 23rd, and I added I also added the 385 call. But if we're looking at the chart here on Tesla, so January 18th and January 23rd. So let's see here. So right here, right when it was falling here on this big red candle, I added the position on this big red day because I thought maybe we were going to get some sort of dead cat pounce. We did not. And then on the 23rd, when it was bottoming me out here, I added a couple more calls, and then we pretty much stayed the same here the last few days. And if we're looking at Tesla, you know, we've pretty much been going up, and we've been getting rejected at like 298, like the high 290s. It did fall down to 279, went back down to like yesterday was 288, and then came back up to like 298, 297, 296 area. You know, it's definitely been struggling, but what I did notice, even though the price hasn't gone anywhere, like one of the interesting things was at one point I was like down 150, but as the day progressed and the stock price didn't really move, implied volatility was getting a lot more. It was getting higher, and we kind of did cover this yesterday, and implied volatility was increasing, which was increasing the cost of my calls. And if you're looking at Tesla here, especially way out of the money, it's very interesting. So like today, for instance, let's go down to, wow, I was way down here. Okay, so the 375 call, even though the stock moved up $1, did nothing today. I mean, the stock was up $1 from yesterday, not very good. But these calls, the 375 calls are up 17%. The 385 calls were up 18%. I mean, that's just crazy. And that just shows you that implied volatility was increasing. Also, I think what was also increasing was the expected move. I don't know. I had to look. Right now it's plus or minus $31. I don't know if it was under 30 at one point and then increased while I had this position on. So at this point, I really just wanted to, when you're down on a position, at one point, if you were down like 150 on a position, which really I was down, you know, because across 4 accounts, down 150 is really down 600 for me. When you're down that much and you come back to break even, you get out. You don't hang on. You're like, okay, well, it was a nice try. Good news is I get to play again. I can trade Tesla after earnings. It's not going anywhere. It's going to be a good stock. You know, we made some money in the past. We've lost money in the past. It's just the way it is. And to get out break even after being down and, you know, playing some defense on it that way, you know, we got out alive, and I was happy to get out, concentrate on some other trades, because, you know, I've been trading this same position on it for like over a week and a half. It's been enough. It's been enough. Nick should have saved the screenshot to remember it wasn't always a dead cat pounce when something. Nick should save that screenshot to remember it always isn't a dead cat pounce whenever something ripped down. Yeah, there's not always gonna be a dead cat bounce, you know. And a lot of times when we trade, like when we trade options, a lot of times they don't make sense. Like, why did PCG go up today? They announced bankruptcy, they go up. You know, Apple is currently people. I guarantee you, because so many people were shorting this. I mean, due to Apple's chart here, I mean, just because it's at 160, it hasn't broken to the upside really to start breaking through some new highs here. I mean, we need to get like a 175 to get some traction here. I mean, yes, it could hit 175 this week, sure, but it's not going to get there all in one day. I mean, it could. I mean, I guess it could, but I mean, a $15 increase, that means like it's about 10% of the move. It could move 10%. On Apple, it was expected to move $8, so, you know, about 5 to 6% move on Apple. So the expected move was $8. We're currently up only 6. So keep that in mind. We're still within the expected move. You know, if you sold an iron condor on this or something like that, you'd probably make money. If you sold like at the money calls, probably not making money. You know, you're gonna be down on those. But I think, what was Apple in terms of IV rank? You know, the other thing that I've noticed is the other thing that I noticed about earnings this year is if you look at the IV rank, and this is an overall IV rank, I'm not talking about like the weekly optional IV rank. Normally, like, you would think IV rank would be a lot higher coming earnings, and a lot of times it is. Apple was at 49, AMD was at 57. What's Tesla at? Tesla's at 43. A lot of times when we have earnings, these are at like 80 or 90. So when Tesla probably had like a 30 IV rank and then increased to like 43. But it's just definitely, IV rank is very interesting. What I would say, like this time around, this quarter, I would say it's been very, very interesting. Like the things that happened, I didn't think would happen, and the way the pricing is working out. I mean, things are a lot cheaper than I thought they would be. I mean, it's very, very strange that they're pricing this in. Are they pricing this in because we dropped so far, so fast, and now they think that the market's just gonna stabilize and level out? I mean, and then that they're making the options cheaper, but the expected moves aren't that good. I mean, the earnings haven't been that great. I mean, it's not like Apple had blowout earnings or anything. It's still within the expected move. Yeah, Apple last earnings. If you're looking here, last earnings we were right here, which is like 40ish. It was like 3.9. They're at like 3.6 or 0.36. We're at like 40 here and 0.36. So, you know, probably Apple was at what? So at 49 now. It was probably like 60 or 70, which is respectable. Over 50, I don't understand why for earnings a stock would have under 50 IV rank. But I guess the market's not anticipating to go up. And also VIX is at 18 right now. Implied volatility. Oh, that's /VX. VIX was up 26 cents, but it's still 19. I mean, VIX hasn't been moving. It's been chilling the last couple of days. We're basically where we're at. I mean, yeah, we did go to 17, went up to 22, but really just hanging out. Going to my, so I actually did do an AMD trade on earnings. Let's go to that. And I don't normally trade through earnings, but the pricing, like I said, the pricing was pretty good on AMD. Like we're 57 IB rank, so that's a little bit higher. So this one's a little bit more respectable. But AMD, I got $1.36. I paid $1.36. I got the 1850 put and the 21 call. And what I was looking at for that, so the 1850 put and the 21 call, really what I was looking at to do on this was if it does go up, I was hoping it would kind of go back up to 22 here, so that way I can get out with like a small profit, run up to 22. Otherwise, I was looking for it to come down to like 17, maybe even 16 if I got lucky. It was more of a bearish skewed strangle, but if we go up to 22, let's say we go to the high 21s, like 21.97, 21.90, I'll probably exit that with a small profit. I mean, it's not going to be a huge winner, but it's going to be, oh, my thing is freaking out. Not going to be a huge winner. Would definitely made more money if it went to like 17 or 16 than we would going to 22. So it'll be a small winner, but you know we'll conserve our capital. You know, I obviously wanted AMD to go down. I thought it was going to go down, and that's why when you do trade earnings, you want to have some protection in place. Yes, it's gone from 22 down to, it was down to 19. It did swing to 18 this morning, but you know, right now it's definitely too easy to tell. I know a lot of people here are trading AMD and they're also trading Apple, and we got a lot of stocks. Alibaba reports in the morning as well. Alibaba. I currently have shares on Alibaba. I'm not trading it for earnings. It's a stock that I do trade a lot, but I'm not gonna trade it till after the report comes out. Also for AMD, what I was thinking of is because I probably wouldn't have traded AMD if today was Thursday going into like expiration Friday. That's like a no. If I was gonna do that, I would have sold premium going into Friday, just because you're gonna get hit with that Ivy crush and you're gonna get hit with Theta very aggressively. So if you're out of the money. And right now I'm currently out of the money. So I have a couple of days to make this work out, and depending on which way the stock starts moving, you know, let's say right now it's obviously moving up. Let's go over to Tastyworks so you can see I can defend my position a little bit. So, you know, right now it's trading at like 2082. I have the 21 calls. And let's say tomorrow we open at like 2050, and these calls, instead of like 55 cents, maybe they're going to be like, I don't think they will. They're actually probably going to be like 80 cents. If we opened it up around here, they'll probably be like 80 cents, I bet. If we opened here. But let's say we opened at like 20 and they were like 40 cents, 30 cents. I could then add another call, which I might add another call anyways tomorrow morning. I'll add another call for the next for a day trade or a swing trade. To, you know, it depends if I'm going to be up money, down money. If I'm up money, I'll probably just take the trade off and then trade it again. But let's say I'm break even to be down $5, $10 or something like that. I'll probably add a call or a put depending on which movement is going. A lot of times you could also get a reversal here. Like we could easily, on AMD, we could easily open at like 21 and then immediately like drop down. I mean, look, if you're looking at like a stock that's been doing this lately at like opens, I mean, Facebook, it's been going up pre-market and then dropping like a rock. Same with Microsoft, going up pre-market, dropping like a rock. So I mean, you're not, just because the number is going in your direction now or that kind of thing. I mean, look at Microsoft last couple of days, dropped like a rock pre-market. You know, we gapped up here. Last week Microsoft had some crazy rips here. Went from 106 to 107 all the way down to like 105. So, you know, just because stocks are moving pre-market or after hours like this doesn't mean it's going to continue like that. We could easily open up. You guys, if anyone here has traded AMD before, you could definitely know we could open at 20 and within the first 15 minutes drop to 18. So that's why you're not safe. You're not safe on earnings until you actually have the cash in your account. Until you take that trade off. You're not gonna be safe on earnings until you have that cash in your account. So, you know, with that being said, I have the opportunity. I think that it was balanced pretty nice. We got a good price on it, and depending on which direction it wants to go, I can add another put, add another call to defend my position and to make some more money. Yeah, Fed meeting is tomorrow. What time is that? Was it like I don't remember off the top of my head. So, that being said, let's see here. SPY, the only other trade I did today, which is probably getting wrecked. So, SPY, instead of trading earnings, I bought a put in SPY. I bought the let's see here. I bought the 263 put for tomorrow expiration for $1.07, which is getting wrecked right now. SPY is at 264. So instead of trading earnings, like we talked about this yesterday, if you don't want to trade earnings, you could trade things indirectly. Like I was saying, like move, depending on which way Apple is going to move. As you guys can see here, Apple moving up here quite a bit. Apple's moving up, and so is SPY. SPY down here is moving up. You know, closed at 263.41. It's almost up. It's almost up a buck. So if they went, it would definitely go my way. So that's the other reason why I put an AMD trade on, is to kind of balance that out. I didn't want to I didn't want to strangle SPY just because it was kind of pricey. So I just went in with the puts, and I didn't want it to be like a double loser where you lose on the call and the put if, let's say, the market doesn't move tomorrow. So, you know, that's the other thing, is because everyone was heavily shorting Apple, they could open this thing flat, and they still could open it flat, which would burn premium on both sides. So a lot of things are going on right now. Chetan says AMD posted lower guidance for the next quarter and disappointing sales. Doesn't make sense to rally this much, but also market doesn't always have to make sense. Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I mean, they're disappointing people, yet it's going up. You know, Nvidia, this is kind of interesting. Nvidia, let's see what Nvidia is doing. So if you guys didn't know, Nvidia dropped a lot on lower guidance for 2019, and it's moving up a little bit pre-market. I mean, obviously not making a huge dent into where it was. Take it easy, Carmine. IBM, I forget who asked. IBM, oh, Eric, IBM. IBM is just not moving. So they beat earnings. It's just not going anywhere. So it's not that interesting right now. For IBM, really to get interesting, you know, you want to see some sort of gap close here. Otherwise, it could. I mean, it's slowly grinding up. But I mean, this could easily revisit 123, 125 again, very easily. So it's trying to close the gap here to go to 140. So there's definitely some room. So it could be a good trade if you wanted to do like a strangle play on IBM. Let's see what the pricing comes in at. Yeah, IBM IV rank is only 15 right now. I mean, that's crazy. So if you want to do something for this week, you know, you could, let's say you want to do like a bearish trade, or you could do bullish. You know, you might want to do something like this. You know, this would probably be a very typical play that I would do, like buy the 135 call and the 132 put. Or if you want to go into next week, you know, this one, you know, you might want to do something like this. I would probably do, if it's going into next week, I would probably kind of tighten it up a little bit. I'd probably do like the 130, 136, 136 call, 130 put for $1.61. Yeah, I wouldn't like that. So kind of tighten it up. But the thing is, with AMD like moving so slow, it just eats away at your position. So that's why, I mean, implied volatility is low, the options are cheap, but it's taking forever to get anywhere. I mean, my goodness, like today it went. I mean, what did it do today? Like, let's see here. Today, it opened at like 133, closed at 134.33. Literally, from open to close, it moved 6 cents. To, I mean, it moved more than that, but from open to close is 6 cents. It's just crazy. You know, in terms of catalysts, like we also have to be careful right now. Like, you know, we still have that China trade deal, and you know the government's open, but that was only a 3-week deal, so we got to be careful. Probably close out tomorrow, but it's better to close it out. Call, wait for it to go down. But Strangle AMD looking good so far. Let's see here, JC. Let's see what's your question here. But probably close it out tomorrow. But is it better to close out the call than wait for it to go down a little bit? I mean, like if the put's literally worthless, I just leave them on because sometimes they hit and then you get paid again. You know, if the put's, like for me, if the put's worth under like 5 cents, like if it's like 3 cents, 2 cents, I just leave it on. I just close out the call, and then I'll leave the put on because sometimes we get a rejection, or sometimes we get just bad news overnight, or whatever the case is. You know, if the stock's moving, it will move the opposite direction too a lot of times. So if let's say I'm making money in the call side in the put, let's say my 18, I have an 1850 put right now on it. Let's say it's like a penny, 2 pennies. I'm not going to close. I'm going to hold on to it. Maybe Friday we'll come back down and make a couple extra bucks. Government shutdown, earning trade deal good for trading. Yeah, Hamed, but the government shutdown, government shutdown deal was only good for 3 weeks. So when I'm trading, I'm looking towards the future. Obviously, it's for this week. It's it's good to finance, leave it under 5 cents, plain simple. Yeah. FC definitely knows about those 5 cents hitting, you know, on those strangles. I mean, it's kind of weird. You kind of double up, but it's pretty good. But Hamed, what I was saying is we just gotta we have a trade deal for another 2 years. Okay, so I gotta look into the trade deal and see what's going on with that. But in terms of the government shutdown, I mean that deal was only like a 3-week deal, so they can work out their whatever wall agreements or disagreement. Who knows anymore? Who knows what they're even arguing about? You know. Let's see here. All right, any stocks you guys want to look at while I'm pulling up the schedule here for earnings? We're about 36 minutes in. Excellent. Yeah, we don't buy. I didn't buy any lotto tickets. Yeah, there's no lotto tickets. But if you have excellent, what I'm talking about is on a strangle. We were talking about if you miss it on a strangle. So if let's say your call side is profitable, but your puts are only worth like 3 cents, 2 cents, I usually just leave them. Not saying you're lotto playing, but you're leaving that trade open because I mean, like, what's $1 or $2 really? You're gonna really, you know, what are you gonna do with that? Sometimes you get a reversal the next day and it could hit again. Is all we're saying. So I'm not saying lotto play, and we don't lotto play here. But if on a strangle, like let's say you have a big gap up and the puts are only like a couple cents, you're gonna leave that on. Richard, eBay. Oh yeah. eBay reported earnings after hours today too. We didn't. Let's see here. eBay. So eBay looking like they beat earnings. They have the conference call right now, so you guys can see. So if you guys have Thinkorswim, you can kind of see here. Here was the report in the blue, the little blue symbol here. That's when the report came out, and now they're doing the conference call, and you can kind of see how the stock is reacting to the conference call. And as you can see here, the Apple conference call is happening as well. So how these two kind of compare. But eBay, they beat, but I mean, they're going to definitely have some difficulty here. They need to get to like 36. They need to start trying to close this gap here on the upside. But in terms of the yearly chart, I mean, it's just looking like trash. I mean, the yearly chart's looking terrible. I mean, this will be, I mean, last earnings they gapped up, but it gave it back. So last earnings they gapped up and they gave it back. This earning, they're gonna supposedly right now, if it opened right now, they gap up tiny. Are they gonna give it back? I mean, I think it could very easily come back down to like 30 again. I traded eBay, what was it, last week or the week before that, and made some money. I made some money on it, but it was so slow, so slow. Vail. Vail and Starbucks. Yeah, Vail, I don't know if these options trade. Okay, the options trade. I know this was more of like a penny stock kind of trade, and they had, I don't know what the catalyst was for this, but this 1 year chart's definitely broken. We got to go to the 2 year chart now. So I mean, easily, I mean, this could, depending on what the news was, I don't know what the news was, but definitely could come back down here to like the 9s or 10 area where there's a little bit of support. Other than that, there's not any support on this rip up in here. Starbucks. So Starbucks, they had earnings a couple days ago, but this has just been a slow grind. This has been a slow grind, kind of like IBM as well, where it does look very toppy up here. Let's go to the 1 year on this guy here. I mean, it does look very toppy on the 1 year here. Definitely dangerous. Last quarter, you know, it went from 58 and then it ran to 68. But this time, as you guys can see, there's not the same momentum here. It just seems to be topping out here. Not saying it's going to top out here, but it just seems to be moving very slow. Which maybe it needs some time to consolidate the move and before moving up. But a lot of times it will also move down. You know. A good zone here that seems to be bounce zone for them is like 62 to 63 range. I see. It would be crazy if we had a reversal out of the expected move to like 29. Yeah, eBay moves only on news. Yeah, eBay is like watching paint dry. But I mean, it gets to where it wants to go. It's just terrible. Kind of like Starbucks. I mean, these moves like in here are so tiny, so tiny. It has some big moves, but like in here, like if you put a position on in this area, you're getting killed. If you put a position on in this area, you're getting killed too, depending on where your positioning is. I mean, you're better off buying like in the money options and having it move your direction versus out of the money options, because it's gonna kill you. And now also this Ivy rank is so low. I mean, the good news is we'll be getting some good deals here on options. The bad news is like these, if you guys haven't noticed, like things just may not move. Like things may not move. I mean, if you guys haven't noticed, things are not moving as fast as they were last month in December. Definitely not in November. Definitely not in October. So yeah, Apple's trading at 161 right now. And AMD's at 2093. So I have the 21 call. So yeah, 826 more. Yeah, I mean, Apple could be 170. I mean, my SPY put screwed, but hopefully we can make some money on AMD. That would be nice. Got in here late, but did you look at AT&T? Ryan, I did not look at AT&T. Let's see here, one of the, man, AT&T, that's a rough one. I mean, it's not moving anywhere. And like I've talked about AT&T before, of it not being growth stock. I mean, if you look back like the last 5 years, I mean, the stock price is basically unchanged. And then if you're holding in this, like if you buy options in this, I mean, you're just getting bled out. You're just getting bled. It's not moving. You know, we need the market. We need some sort of catalyst. We need something to get us moving here, because this is just terrible. If you're holding for the week, I mean, you're getting bled out. I mean, today is up 3 cents, AT&T, and then day trading it's not a very good day trading chart, because very choppy. Like very choppy. It's hard to day trade these kind of stocks. Kit, what's going on, man? Hope you're doing better. Hope all is well with the fam. But yeah, I mean, this is I wouldn't trade this. Stocks like this, you mostly want to trade when they break out of range. You know, if this can come to 32 or if this can come down to 28 is where you want to start trading it. As you guys can see here, when it broke out of range here, 32 got rejected, came back down, he made some money. When it broke out of range here again, came back down 26, made some money on the up move. So like a stock that's doing this, you don't want to trade it until it breaks out of range, and then for an option trader at least, you know, unless you want to buy stuff like if you want to put a strangle on, but you're gonna want to do it like 90 days or more out, 120 days out, and then the problem is it depends on how patient you are. I know a lot of people that trade options in this group aren't very patient, so they're literally looking at that same trade for a month, 2 months before it actually makes the move. You know, so you got to be careful. CMG. We haven't talked about CMG too much in this chat. 2017, I traded this a lot, mainly due to all the health issues, and it was moving pretty big. And now CMG is moving again, but on good earnings and good news. However, if CMG, I mean, I'm hoping CMG's worst days are behind them, and I'm sure the CEO and everyone is too. But I mean, these are some massive moves. For best name for trading, I would probably trade before and after, not during. typically. Today I traded AMD. Last quarter I traded only one through, and that was Morgan Stanley. I did a strangle on Morgan Stanley last quarter, made some money. Last quarter we were at on Morgan Stanley we were at 52-week lows, and then we gapped up, and I was able to sell for a nice profit. I mean, we went from 43 up to like 45, 46, and the options were pretty cheap. You know, I like to, for those that know, I like to trade the support and resistance. I like to trade the 52-week highs, the 52-week lows, and then kind of any support and resistance in between. So, get one good trade today. Bought Apple 155 put at 10 a.m. Sold it at 133 for $1.60. Then sold premium for Friday. Nice. Hopefully, Kit, did you sell puts or did you sell calls for tomorrow, or did you put an Iron Condor on? If you put an Iron Condor, you know, you're probably getting tested on Apple. You know, the $8 move, and we're at $9 now. So you're gonna get tested. But I know you got a much bigger stomach. You know, your stomach is a lot stronger than most for selling premium. I mean you take it to the edge. You take it to the edge. I mean. Yeah, that's what I figured. So you have an Iron Condor, puts at 147, calls at 164. So that's what I figured. You put an Iron Condor on, and you're about to get squeezed, my man. Hope you don't give up those gains that you made intraday. Ray Lee looks like Ray Lee. What were your positions on AMD and Apple? I'll be looking at I'll probably look at tomorrow on a day trade on Apple, and looking to get out of my AMD trade. So AMD we're at 21.23. So if we can get a run to 22, definitely would be good for my position. Even though it was bearish skewed, I'll still come out with a profitable trade at 22, around 22. Let's see here. What was that? Let's see if we can pull that trade up. Let's see here. Yeah, I need like 22. Now, if you guys don't know this, if you guys are new to trading and you're looking at, you know, Tasty Works is a little confusing. You can see here this orange bar right here in the middle, that's the expected move. It calculates this. This is the 288. It calculates it right here. And then if you put a position on, like I just put a strangle on, I bought the 1850 put and the 21 call. You can see this red line on the left here. That's where it's saying you lose money, and then the green is saying where you make money. And it's saying here I won't make money to like 22, like 10. But you got to be careful. One thing that Tasty Works doesn't account for is this doesn't account for implied volatility or theta. This just means if the current conditions of the stock happen to be, I might actually need to go to like 23 to break even. But I think we'll be okay based on the price of $1.38. I might be down like 20 bucks or so. And if I'm down like 20 bucks, I might add another 21 call and then try to balance it out there if we're opening it up around here. But it keeps moving. So, you know, whether you know, hopefully this is a learning experience for you guys. You know, whether you're in a winning position or a losing position or like in a neutral position, you want to give yourself time to, whether you're selling premium or buying premium, you want to give yourself time to kind of trade out of things and try to, you know, you may take a loss up front, but if you defend your position, you'll be able to get out on top. I'll be able to maneuver my way through the market. And even though if AMD opens up against me, I'll be able to maneuver the market and maneuver the position to get out ahead. You know, a lot of times we're able to defend that and get out with a profit. Sometimes you might have to take the L, but sometimes you had a loss and you maybe make it break even. You can trade something else. Selling premium has been decent in a couple of weeks. Yeah, Kate, you've been taking all my money selling premium. Normally I sell a lot more premium. I just haven't been selling premium. When IVs like this, and we move slow, I usually sell more premium, and I just haven't been. Peep eBay. It's on its way back to where it closed. Yeah, eBay. Yeah, I mean, maybe we open a short position on eBay tomorrow. I mean, this stock, I'm not going to call it junk, but Yeah, eBay's headed back down. Must not have been a good conference call because we're at went to 130, went to 36. However, I mean this could easily go from here back up to 36. You know, I also like to watch like the pre-market highs and the pre-market lows to kind of see what the stock, you know, it could retest those levels again during the day. Having a real iron Dutch King, have an iron condor on, nice. You're gonna be making some stacks tomorrow. eBay's gonna pay a dividend now. Hope it's not too little too late. Lotto ticket for the win. Thanks, Kit. Appreciate you, man. We got about 10 minutes left in the stream. If this video so far was of value to you, hit the like button. Definitely appreciate hanging out with you guys. There's a lot of people in here. If you haven't said hello, if you're new here, say hello. Want to introduce you to the UBH fam. We have a lot of people here, a lot of great people. Any stocks you guys want to look at in the next 10 minutes before we sign off? And so that's crazy. That's crazy. AMD, Apple hit 164. Here, Kit hit 164 and it's bouncing back now. Sean, what's up? GLD, Twitter, Baba. GLD, Sean. Sean, what's going on? Yeah, GLD is. Let's see. Gold's been going up. So even though the market's been going up, so is gold, and it could definitely. It's starting to break out here. It closed the gap up in here, and now it's making a run for the high 120s. So you know you got to be conscious of the commodities and also the yields. You know, I would say things feel very weird right now in the market. I mean, we have the market going up, we have gold going up. You know, definitely things feel very, very weird right now. But I think, I mean, it's definitely breaking out. Could definitely go into the high 120s. You know, I would definitely, if I bought some calls here, I definitely would probably try to take some off at like 125. And if we can get above that here, then I would probably run it to like 127. Twitter's got to have earnings coming up, right? Twitter earnings February 7th. So Twitter's earnings are next Thursday. So even though we've had some massive moves, it's still within the range here of where it's been. I mean, yes, it's gone as high as 47, as low as recently 26. It did touch 24 like a year ago, but you know, it's still mid-range here. It's been chilling here. It likes this 31 and 32 range over here for some reason. It's really just in the mean. So it could really go either direction. You know, might be a good, I don't know what the pricing is on this. Might be a good strangle play for earnings or leading up to earnings. You know, Ivy ranks 56. The weeklies this week are 63, next week are 96, which is not bad. So you could actually put a position on now, and this Ivy rank will probably increase to over 100 next week. So that'll work out for you in your favor. So, I mean, these are kind of expensive. I mean, the market is expecting a $3.87 move. I mean, that's over 10% for Twitter. I don't know. Definitely high risk. This is definitely a high risk trade. I would trade it. I would wait till after. I would wait till after and then trade the momentum. Let's see here. Richard wants to look at Alibaba. So Alibaba's got earnings in the morning, and this has been, you know, a crazy ride. I think, you know, I've said this before. I think that in terms of how much money Alibaba makes and the impact it has on world e-commerce, it definitely the trade has been punishing the stock pretty much unfairly. I do hold stock. My average is at 149. Probably should have averaged down here at like 129 again, but you know, how much money do you want to throw in there? But even though last quarter it had good earnings, it didn't really move that great. I mean, yeah, we moved from 150s to 170s, but just got rejected 170 down to 129 just hard. So, you know, it's time probably after earnings here. I'll probably be trading it a little bit more aggressively. Definitely is a stock that I like to trade. If we can get, we need to get above here, above 170 to kind of start rebounding. Above 170, anything before that, you know, I would like to trade it. If it goes to 170, I definitely would like to trade that to the bearish side. And then if it breaks through, it has some upside protection because it'll go fast. Stress level kit. Do you COX continuing to go up, or is it a stock that you might short this week? COX. Let's see here. Tobin, what's going on? Nice to see you here, man. You say weird because it should be going down and it's not, or vice versa. No, Dutch Keen, I just, you know, guess they don't want to load. I guess they don't want to load Cox. Guess is this it's not loading anything, so I don't know. I don't know. Feels like Tesla's been 290s for weeks, but only been, yeah. When you're holding like that, waiting for something to happen, you're kind of like with the stick, like do something. We're just impatient. I mean, now that we all sold, like I was telling Josh, I mean, probably gonna be 320 tomorrow. It's already 298 here. But that's just the way it goes. I mean, it's not worth risking the amount of money we had invested into Tesla over earnings and losing. I mean, we were 75 points away. I mean, I could have lost like $200 per account, so that's $800. I mean, not worth it. Not worth it. The goal of the trade was to play pre-earnings, kind of like what I did for Netflix. Netflix worked out great. Tesla got out with a $5 loss, break even pretty much. So sometimes it happens. You know, that's just the way it goes sometimes. Right? How do I say that? That's how it be though. Apple. All right. Ray Lee. Apple's hitting 165. Sorry, Kit. Hopefully it comes down a little bit for you. It's just running. It's just running. Thoughts on T5 LMT? Let's look at that. LMT. I don't know too much about LMT. Lockheed Martin. Their options aren't that liquid. I mean, we're only seeing like 100 or a couple hundred volume here, so nothing great. Derek, I'm in Chicago too. It's terrible. Yeah, I mean Lockheed Martin. They let's see what these were up. Let's see here. They did earnings this morning and they gapped down. This is what I'm talking about though. Like, there's the gap down, and then the rip up. So this could happen to AMD where we gap up and rip down, or Apple. So you gotta be very mindful. This gap down from 287 down to 281, and then ripped up within 30 minutes. It was back up and then green for the day within 30 minutes. This is the 15-minute chart. So within 15 minutes, this is moving quick. You know, within, let's see here, 1 hour and 15 minutes, it went from 280 to 292, which was just crazy. Let's see what those calls were doing here. Obviously, if you swing traded, this is not a good trade stock if you're swing trading calls, because these were only up 16%. Those are only up 30%. But let's look at those 290. Let's look at these 290 calls here to kind of look at here. There's only 345 volume, so it's not great. Bid in the ask is pretty wide, so not a great stock to trade options on. So let's see here. So swing trading these, and this kind of shows you how thick these were yesterday. So yesterday at close, these were with like 43 cents, and the 290 calls opened at like 30 or 68 cents, hit a low at 36 cents, and went high. And this is why I also like to trade after earnings as well, is because you can catch these kind of deals. I mean, it went from 36 cents all the way up to like $4.99, $5 within an hour and 15 minutes. I mean, that's just insane. Obviously, we would have sold way before then. You know, if it goes from 36 to $3, you sell. But Jimbo, what up? You know, but this stock's not very liquid for options. So it's pretty dangerous. But I mean this chart here, you know, I would trade it till 300 before getting rejected. You know, right now it's gonna be difficult to find a deal in there. Expected move now is $7 for the rest of the week. So you're not gonna find a great deal in there. You know, but this is an amazing deal. These 290 calls, but at the end of the day, who knows if it's gonna go from 280 to 290 in an hour and 15 minutes. But someone saw value in the stock. Jimbo, what's going on? Oh, Derek's in Central Illinois. Yeah, I don't know what the weather is like in Central Illinois, but in Chicago, we're getting. My next stream is just gonna be like this. It's gonna be messed up. We're gonna have to break out the liquor. Yeah, see, I turned that put into a strangle. Nice. That's what I like to hear. Cool for things. No problem, T5. Appreciate it, Derek. Glad you're here. Jimbo, you signed down right when we were getting off here. Airbus. Let's see. Someone asked Airbus. I don't know. Do they have a? I don't think anyone's ever brought up Airbus before. Which ticker does it trade? Is it no. Is this a isn't Airbus like a Chinese stock? Yeah, I don't know. Anyways, Buffalo's getting hammered at the moment, yeah. So to kind of recap, I'm gonna sign off here in a minute. We got Apple hit almost 165. AMD's running to, it's above $21 right now. So, you know, we'll see. You know, right now we just got to be careful. We got to stay safe. We got to stay green. Appreciate everyone that came on the stream today. People that are going to watch it later, stick around. You guys are the best. We hit 5,000 subscribers yesterday. Thank you guys again. Really appreciate it. You guys stay safe. Stay warm. It's always us versus herd.